What's up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Iron Fist figure from the Doctor Strange Dormammu wave. All right, and here he is, and I'm pretty pleased with this figure. I am a huge Iron Fist fan, so I'm kind of partial to the character to begin with, but I like what they did with this guy. I like him in comparison to the previous Iron Fist, and I'll compare the two here in a minute. But he's got some good newer style articulation for a Marvel Legends figure. He looks good, and he comes with halfway decent accessories. So let's take a look at him, and you can see right off the bat that he is in the more traditional green outfit. The previous one was the newer, I don't know if he currently wears it anymore, but a more recent white outfit. So we've got, yellow bandana, and then the classic kind of green Iron Fist outfit. He's got the wrapped hands, and then we've got his sash, and then painted boots. Let's go over articulation real quick. So the main thing is he's got a butterfly joint, which is really good, really cool for a figure like this. A flexible martial artist. You can put him into some cool poses. So it's nice to see that they included this on this figure. Head goes all the way around, up and down. Really good range of motion there. Arms can go up and out all around. We do have the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Wrists are on the actual wrist swivels because they pop out to swap out hands. So we'll get to that in a minute. Wrist swivels. I guess I should say the forearm swivels. Maybe that's a more appropriate description. The wrist swivels, and then it's also on a hinge. The waist has a twist, but it's one of those because he's so thin that you're not going to be doing too much of that, probably. He does have a crunch. He goes back one click, and he can go forward pretty far. Legs go out a decent way. Forward, pretty high kick. Back, pretty decent. Thigh cut, as usual, on a Legends. We've got our double jointed knee. There is nothing at the shin or the boot. He has a hinge and a rocker at the ankle. So aside from not having a boot cut, he's got pretty standard articulation, and then he has some added in the butterfly joint. So, and then the forearm. Now, as far as sculpt goes, I think he is a more accurate depiction of Iron Fist compared to the previous one. The head is different. Body is obviously different because this is a smaller figure all around. I like the sculpted detail in these hands. I think those are really nice. There's a lot of texture, a lot of sculpted detail there. Head looks really good. I like the mask. I like the face. So all around pretty good. Sash is kind of This is the kind of thing you get with a lot of other Legends figures, and it looks okay, but it's nothing special. I do like, you've got the hair peeking out of the back of the hood there, or the bandana, and then we've got the sculpted fabric that flows down. So he looks good. I think they really nailed the look of this figure. Iron Fist was by far my favorite of the Doctor Strange wave. I don't have too many that I really care for in this wave, but Iron Fist was the first one I had to get. Now, as far as paint goes, there's not tons. He's mostly this molded green, which looks pretty consistent throughout. The boots are painted on the legs, and then the feet are obviously molded, and they match pretty decently. The dragon in the chest is painted very cleanly on mine, and I don't have any issues there. There is a lot of wash in the hands, and then of course the flesh tones are painted, and they're very clean as well. The hair is painted on the back of the head, like I showed just a second ago, and we've got flesh tones on there as well, which are also painted nicely. A little bit of shading in there, and then the eyes and the black on the mask are painted. So he doesn't have a ton of paint, but what is there is applied well, and he looks good. So I'm pleased with those applications. Now, as far as accessories, he has, I guess we consider them two sets of accessories. So he has, like I mentioned, he has interchangeable hands, and these pop out at the wrist, so all of the bandages on the figure would be gone. And then you just see the powered up iron fists. And then let me go ahead and pop these out. And then you can see that they just pop in. Make sure I've got the right one here. And it's a tight fit. They're going to go in there, and they're going to stay in there, so that's good. So in this, he's powered up at this point, and he's got his iron fists. And there's kind of a I believe it's green on the inside, but it might be black. And then there's a hand, like a hand type structure inside of the actual fist that you've just replaced. So it looks really good. So you can see something inside there. It's not just a glob of translucent plastic. Then the other set are his flame effects. And these look really nice. I'm very pleased with them. They obviously look like a ball of fire. And there's not too much to say about them there. They do just slip on over the hands. And then they sit on him like that. Well, not like that. Or like that either. They'll just pop on. And then they'll stay on his hands there. So I like them. I think they're really cool. I like this idea of this effect. We obviously have these in a more recent figure because I recently reviewed Sunfire from the current X-Men wave. He has these same kind of effects, but I believe Iron Fist is the first one to have gotten them. So this is how I display him, with the powered up hands and the flame effects on them. I just think he looks cooler this way. This is what I want out of my Iron Fist. All right, now to compare him to the previous Iron Fist, I'll pull this guy out, and you can tell they're somewhat similar, but they're also different. So here is the previous one next to the current. And you can see, I mean, obviously the costumes are different. There is more metallic type paint on the previous one. All of his sash, his bandana, his legs, and his feet are, as well as the gauntlet, are kind of metallic-y and marbly type plastics. So they look different. They shine. The bodies are different. The head sculpts are obviously different, and then of course the neck is different. You can see that the white one kind of juts out a little too forward, which I don't care for. This guy also has no effects like this. He has no wrapped hands. He doesn't have any powered up hands. He does have a handful, no pun intended, of other hands, and you can't use them on this figure because they are a different type of peg, since his entire forearm pops off and only the hands do. So he has more style pose hands, whereas this version of Iron Fist only has fists. So I liked this guy when he came out. Compared to this one, though, I think this one, has pretty much been blown away. So, overall, I'm very pleased with this current Iron Fist. I like the articulation. I like the sculpt. He looks really true to the character, and I love his accessories. He is the best figure in the wave for me personally, and I think he's a good use of parts on Hasbro's part to make him as articulated and posable as possible. So, I'm glad I grabbed him. So, that's going to do it for this one. As always, stay tuned for more reviews. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think of this guy down in the comments. And until next time.